Oh man, we got a big, good game tonight. It's going to be the Habs, it's going to be the Canucks. The Canucks looking for a bounce-back performance. They're on a 3-game skid that they got to snap out of quickly because they have not looked good. And on the other side of the coin, the Habs have looked awesome, man. They've looked great. So I'm going to preview this one tonight for you guys. This should be a good one. Let's start off on the side of the bleu, blanc et rouge. So the Habs, hey, I said it last time, I'll say it again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So the Habs are going to go with pretty much the exact same lineup as the two shellackings they laid on the Edmonton Oilers there. The only change, it's going to be Carey Price in net instead of Jake Allen, is looking like. And yes, it's a back-to-back, so Jake Allen will see the net in one of these two games, but it's looking like it's going to be Price in this first game because Allen just played against Edmonton. And look, there's not much to say on the Montreal side of things. I mean, they're absolutely rolling. Romanov gets his first NHL goal last game. We've heard it all. He's going to be a player for the Habs. Everybody's talking about it. Suzuki's on fire. The only guy I'd like to see some more of, two actually, I'll mention. Jonathan Drouin, who I think needs to pick it up a bit. I don't think he's been terrible like a lot of people have been saying, but I do think he needs to pick up his game. And KK. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I know Habs fans love their KK, but Jesperi Kotkaniemi, after his playoff performance last year, I was expecting him to burst down the gates and come out swinging like Suzuki has here. But he hasn't, and that's okay. But I want him to kind of gradually progress here. Maybe get some points on the board, improve his confidence. But as long as his 200-foot game keeps improving, maybe he turns into a great two-way center. You know what I mean? And he can be maybe a great second-line center behind Suzuki in the future once Danault is out of there. Which, by the way, Danault has been awesome as well. But yeah, I want to see some more from KK. I want to see him impress me like all the other young guns have. And yeah, I'm also wondering, when is Corey Perry going to get into this lineup? I want to see him in a Habs uniform in a real game. But Habs, hey, keep rolling. You're going to lose eventually. Hey, every team loses. But try and ride this hot streak as long as you can. Now on the Canucks side of things, this is where things get interesting because the Canucks just came off a rough 2-game set against the Calgary Flames, and before that they got absolutely lit up by McDavid. That one I would maybe be inclined to give them a pass just because it was McDavid having one of those special nights, but the 2 games against Calgary, they were quite rough for the Canucks, and they definitely need to bounce back because a lot of people are saying, oh, Calgary took our 2 best players, or not best players, but 2 of our really good players in Markstrom and Tanev, and oh, we should be regressing. No, I think this Vancouver team still has a ton of potential, and they should be near the top of the standings. Now, expect a bit of a shakeup in Vancouver. We know the Lotto 649 line, you're probably not going to touch that, okay? It's going to be Miller, it's going to be Pettersson, it's going to be Boeser. After that, it might be a free-for-all. We've seen that Pearson, Horvat, and Hoglander work well together, but with the way that the Canucks special teams are going, it really needs a shakeup, and I'm sure it's going to be provided. On the PK, because their PK was not doing great. On the power play, which was not doing great as well, we're going to see a shakeup. And I wonder 2 other places, on defense and in net. And I know these are all the positions I'm naming right here, but on defense, I'm wondering if maybe you try to put Schmidt with Quinn Hughes and Hamonic and Edler together. I know that kind of makes your D pairings a bit slower as a whole because you're putting Edler and Hamonic, who are not exactly quick, together. But I just wonder if you can maybe rekindle some new chemistry that way, kind of switching up the pairings a little bit. And Tyler Myers, I know he took that kind of stupid penalty against Tkachuk last game, but he's quite a good defenseman, and he's been playing on the 3rd pair. I wonder if you move him up a little bit, because Yule Levy, he's been, I'd say, average, but Myers, he's shown that he can be a very adept defenseman when he wants to. So maybe Myers gets moved up in the lineup and you move Hamonic down, for example. And in net, that must have hurt last game, Vancouver, eh? Markstrom 2 games in a row. Absolutely stellar performance against you guys. I mean, if it was me, I'd put in Holtby, but again, Green is a guy who likes to keep his cards close to his chest. So you guys can comment down below who is going to be in net. If I had to put my money on it, I would say it's going to be Braden Holtby because of how solid he's been. I know Demko's kind of been shaky, but he also had that great playoff performance, and they've clearly put a lot of trust in him. The organization has. So honestly, it's anybody's guess. My guess, it's Holtby. Key to victory for Vancouver here, I already kind of alluded to it, it's the special teams, all right? I mean, look, Calgary did most of their damage on special teams against Vancouver there. So, Vancouver, you got to counter here. When Montreal gets a power play or when you get a power play, capitalize. That's all it is. If you guys are better on the special teams, I think everything else will kind of shore up. It'll give a jolt of energy to your bench, and everybody's going to kind of start playing better and smarter. So yeah, special teams, that is the key. Hey, that'll do it for me on this one, guys. Who are you cheering for? Let me know. I always love these Canadian division matchups because fans are so passionate out in this North Division. So yeah, let me know down below. Can't wait to see it. This is going to be a fun one. Buckle up. Let's get going.